everybody, Matt the Bat here. So today is the day. Today is November 9th, which means it's the 10th anniversary of Skyfall, the third Daniel Craig Bond film in the franchise. This came out on the 50th anniversary of the James Bond franchise. And let me tell you, it's one of my favorite James Bond films. Actually, it's my second favorite James Bond film in the entire franchise. This was directed by Sam Mendes, who previously worked on movies like American Beauty, Jarhead, Road to Perdition, which is actually probably my second favorite Tom Hanks movie. He came on and took over the James Bond franchise, and to me, made one of the best James Bond movies in the franchise. Also had Javier Bardem as the main villain this time around. It had Naomi Harris coming in, Ben Whishaw, and Ray Fiennes. So in the new additions to this film. Overall, I think this is one of the best James Bond films. Daniel Craig also has never been better in this movie. He brings everything from the charm, the humor, the dramatic moments, the serious moments, emotional scenes, the action, of course. He has great chemistry with Judi Dench in this one. I would actually say he has the best chemistry with her in this one rather than the previous movies. His scenes with Javier Bardem are great, and I'm going to get into him in a minute. The action scenes in this movie are great. They're some of the best in the franchise. But one of the best things about this movie is the cinematography. The cinematographer on this movie is Roger Deakins. He is one of the best cinematographers working today. Some might even say he is the best. And this is the best looking James Bond movie still to this day. Over 60 years later. And it is, you look at the shots from the opening to him James Bond coming into view, to the stuff in Shanghai or China, wherever they are, all the, neon lights, that scene where he's in the building, and you see the silhouettes of them fighting through the neon lights is great. And, then the stuff in Scotland at the end, the foggy, gray coloring, just, mute colors. Just still one of the best introductions or intros for a Bond villain, in my opinion. When Javier Bardem comes down the elevator and he does his monologue and it's all done in one shot, one take. That to me is one of the most brilliant scenes in any Bond movie, period. That intro to a villain, not only the monologue is great, but it's all done in one shot. Wow. Love the cinematography in this movie. I can probably turn this movie on and just watch it for the cinematography, because it is beautiful to look at from start to finish. To even that one scene after the building, the MI6 building blows up, and it starts from high overhead shot, and it comes down, and you see Judi Dench in the background and all the caskets in the foreground. And it starts up overhead and tilts down. It's a beautiful shot. I can't stress the cinematography enough in this movie. It's one of the best looking movies in the past 10 years. Javier Bardem, like I said, obviously we knew he could play a great villain from No Country for Old Men. That came out in 2007. But here as the main villain, when you don't show up until over an hour into the movie and you still dominate every scene you're in, you know you're a great villain. You know you're a great actor, too. And Javier Bardem has some really great moments. Like I said, the action, whether it's the beginning on the train to the scene, like I said, in Shanghai or whatever, on the elevator, or you go to the scene in the courtroom, the shootout in the courtroom, or the whole ending at the Skyfall mansion. I mean, the action in this movie is top notch. The humor in this movie works. Moneypenny has moments. Ned Wishow as a new Q has a lot of good moments. Even James Bond himself, Daniel Craig, has some great moments. So, and also, let's talk about the Bond girl. There is no Bond girl. Really, they really gave you a true misdirect in this movie and made M the Bond girl. And of course, Judi Dench does a great job in the role. This is probably her best outing in the James Bond franchise. And I kind of did like how they, subverted expectations of, no, we're not going to actually have a true Bond girl in this one. I also like that this is the 50th anniversary. It was the 50th anniversary. They had a lot of Bond moments, whether it's the original Aston Martin, obviously some Bond music cues, and obviously just some, Bond moments that if you know the franchise, you're like, I got it, And it wasn't like a wink, like, you remember that? It was there, but again, they did them smart. Unlike Star Wars The Force Awakens. And like I think Sam Mendes did a great job as a director on this one. I kind of feel bad that he then did then he went on to do Spectre right after this. And that was nowhere near as good as a Bond movie in the overall franchise. But still, coming on and first time doing a Bond movie, he did a great job. And the other piece of information I forgot to bring up was, of course, Adele's theme song, Skyfall, for this James Bond film. I consider it also one of the best James Bond opening themes for a Bond movie. It's a powerful song, and it has really stuck with you, or with me, for 10 years. So, that's another thing to bring up, is the Adele's song for the movie, which has always been a huge part of the James Bond franchise also. Who's going to sing that opening theme after that opening scene in the movie during the opening credits? And I think this was one of the best ones in the Bond franchise. I think this is one of my favorite movies in the James Bond franchise. It's not number one. That's still Casino Royale for me, because I think that movie had everything that this movie has too. But that one movie also had the romance, and to me, one of the best Bond girl in the entire franchise was Eva Green as Vespa Lynn. So they actually had a true Bond girl in this movie, Skyfall, and she had the same level as chemistry and everything that Vespa Lynn, Eva Green had in Casino Royale. Then Skyfall probably would be my favorite Bond movie overall. But it is only my number 2, which is still saying a lot, because at that time over 50 years of Bond, and now 60 years of James Bond, and this is still my second favorite James Bond movie. Yeah. So if you have not watched Skyfall in a while, since it's been 10 years, I highly recommend you go watch it, or if you have, go watch it again. I watched it the other night, Friday night, again, just to do this, and I enjoyed every minute of it. So Matt the Matt here, let me know, are you a fan of the Skyfall movie? Is this your favorite James Bond movie or not? Let me know in the comments below.